And good evening, y'all. This is Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner, Cleveland, Ohio, Zone 6B. Good evening to the ones who got in here earlier, Joshua and Psalms 146. Thank you, thank you. They did a thumbs up already. There you go, Cassandra South Fulton. Good evening. Thank you for stopping in. There you go, Mike. Yeah, I seen the ad. I got my phone right here and I'm seeing the ads too. So thank you though for watching them. I need all the little duckies I can get. Thank you so much. And also from behind the scenes, my IT expert, Dolores. Thank you very much, sweetheart, for jumping right in there earlier. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come in. But you know what, y'all? Can you drop your yeah, your temps. But before you do that, if you're watching the, I don't know why I can't talk tonight. If you are watching the replay, please hit that like button and show me that you like me just a little bit. And also that notification bell so that you'll be notified of any new videos I may upload. Hey, Renaissance Grandma, how are you? In the bushes, I understand. Trying to put, yeah, oh, okay. That's all right. Do what you got to do. All right. Long as you're listening, you hit that like button. Hey, I'm good. Drop your temperatures. Right now, at 7 o'clock in the evening, it's 94 degrees and still sunny outside here in Cleveland, Ohio. That is not the norm for us. Yeah, the temperatures is hot. I shut all the doors and windows and I got the air on because it was that muggy heat. Not humid. It was just like thick. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Hit that like button. Show me that you like me just a little bit. I know Sam, she normally be in the bushes around this time cooking dinner or getting the kids and the hubby together. So we do understand. We know that's your norm. Harvey Container. Hey, I've been missing you. How are you? Thank you very much for stopping in the bushes. But listen, I understand. I do. Harvey, let me tell you, I went out. I got a couple of things and pots on my porch here, second floor. And I went out there early this morning because I was watering stuff because it was going to be hot today. And I found those little green worms all over. I think it's it. I don't know if it's broccoli or Brussels sprouts. But anyway, they was full of the little green worms, and I cleaned them all off. So, yeah. So I was thinking about you with all your brassicas and stuff that you normally like your cabbages and stuff. So I was like, I saw them holes. I said, oh no, you got to go. So I cleaned them up real good. So hopefully they'll survive because it was tearing them up. Nettis Nest, what's up, Nesty? How are you, darling? Thank you for stopping in this evening. I know you down there burning up, shaking bait. Yeah, everybody drop your temps. Mike said nice 83 now 90 rest of the week. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, it was unusual for us. It's we got up to 94 today. Sam said it was 95, but a storm just rolled through and dropped us down to 73. Okay, we need some rain right now because my rain barrels is getting lower and lower. Yeah. Yeah, I was out because I got a lot of stuff in 5 gallon containers and a lot of stuff in the ground too. And I got my green stock. So since we haven't had any rain in about 2 or 3 weeks, yeah, I'm using up my 5 gallon buckets. They getting low. My 55 gallon rain barrels, they getting low. So yeah, we can use some rain right now. Joshua says it's very hot in the Bronx. So yeah, I know it's always hot in New York. That's why y'all always got those fire hydrants going. Hey Shantae, what's up? Thank you for stopping in, sweetie. Netta says 93. Now it was 98. Yeah, it's 94 here. Bammy, my brother from another mother. Hello. 97. Yeah. Yeah, it's hitting everybody today though. This heat ain't no joke. Joshua, it burns everybody's skin. This ain't nothing you play with. That's why they tell you to stay in the house. I don't care how strong your suntan lotion is. You don't need to be in the sun. It's no joke. You can cause heat stroke, sunstroke, all kinds of stuff. Uh, I love rain and warm weather. Yeah. So the topic tonight is how would you like what? How was your life before C-19? Because I don't think that if C-19 never occurred, I don't think we would have this garden community that we have going on now. And in some instances, it has given us extended family, people that we might have never known or had in our life if the C-19 hadn't happened. Harvey says, 85 here, about to get more rain. All right, we need some rain. Hey, Cheryl Norris, thank you for stopping in. Cassandra says 86 degrees here after a brief rain shower. See, we haven't had any rain. Don't look like we're going to get any for another 3 or 4 days. And it's already been like 3 weeks already without rain. Uh, Netta said, if you need cheap compost just to top off your beds, Wally World has compost for $1. Yeah, that might be where you at, but not up here because I've done that. I've checked out there and they don't have jack marked down. Cheryl says it's 97 where she's at. Crawl, what I eat. Quee, what's up? You say you're driving, listening, 92 here now. Okay, keep your eyes on the road. Be careful. All right, it's hot there. Yeah, it look like pretty much everybody in the 90s. So it's got a heat wave going on right now at the end of July. Yeah, I don't mind the heat wave. I had a little rain in between because not only does the rain bring down the temps a little bit, it helps the plants. And it helps me from having to drag water every day to water my plants. See, up here on the porch is not a problem. I'm on the same level, but when I have to go downstairs to the big garden, that's where I have to lug water from one plant to another because I don't have a hose set up over there. I'm using watering cans. So I don't mind. I kind of like it because I do it early in the morning. I'll take my coffee and I have furniture over there that I can sit down up under the tree if I start getting too warm. And I could just look at the garden and kind of plan on what else I want to do out there and just, chill for a minute in between. I don't try to overdo it. When I start feeling too hot, then I bring my little happy behind in the house because I'm not trying to get heat stroke. Hey, she is sunshine. Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you. LGGG, did I say hello to you, sweetie? Yeah, I don't want to miss anybody coming in. So, all right, y'all, start telling me. Talk to me. Talk to me. What was your life like before C-19? Because if it didn't occur, we all wouldn't be here now. We wouldn't be on YouTube and Facebook and what is it, TikTok or what is it, uh, uh, IG, Instagram, all this stuff that I never heard of until I came into this garden community. I was on Facebook. Hey, what's that? The analytic gardener. I think you shot past me. Gail, where you been? Been missing you. Glad to see you this evening. I was just thinking about you today. I hadn't seen you. Ooh, all right. She is sunshine saying hello to everybody. Um, Bama said I'm going into triple digits all next week. Ouch. Ooh, ET. Ouch. No, we're gonna be in the 80s, but this 90 though today kind of caught me off guard when I saw the news yesterday. It said 91, but it got up to 94, and I feel every bit of it too. Yeah, it's a dry heat. It's not moist like it normally is. I guess if it rained, it would be a little more humid, but it's a dry heat and it's kind of heavy. So yeah, and it don't take you long to break out in a sweat. So yeah, I got out there early this morning, just as soon as the sun kind of peeked up this morning, because I knew it was gonna be hot, and got back in the house before it started to get roasty toasty. Plus, I wanted to cook too. I wanted to cook before the kitchen got too hot to be in. I wanted my cabbage, and I got my cabbage, and boy, it turned out oh, it's so good. I could eat that whole pan by myself. Okay, yeah, I've been on the road a lot, missing everybody. See, I know you've been missed. I know I hadn't seen you. Glad to see you. Okay, though. I was retired making cosmetics. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I don't even wear makeup this time of the year. I put lipstick on. I might put on a little eyeliner, but I end up wiping it all off because if I start getting hot and getting sweaty, I'm wiping everything coming off. I don't care. Oh. Uh, she is Sunshine saying if it wasn't for C-19, I would still be gardening, but doubt I would have been on YouTube like that because and the chat just jumped. And I don't think that I would be connected with YouTube. Okay, yeah. Y'all, this the chat keep jumping. I would have a garden even without C-19, but I don't think that'll be connected with. Okay, uh, drop dropping to the bushes. Okay, Tag, do what you got to do, babe. We understand. She said also I would still be in Chicago, which would not be a bad thing for me with what I have learned and experienced so far. Okay, yeah, C-19. Bama said made you remember to slow down. Yeah, you didn't have a choice. Yeah, I didn't get it, and I'm happy I didn't, but I know a lot of people who did, and I've actually lost some dear friends. My best friend I lost to COVID. So, matter of fact, this month was year 4 and year 16 for my mom being gone. So, yeah. Hey, J3GS Farms, how are you? Thank you very much for stopping in this evening. She call him Paw Paw. Yeah, so yeah, I think a lot of the long-term YouTubers has started to really started reaching out to the general public, and we started watching their shows, and we got involved because they were there and it was something that you could get involved with, and it was just phenomenal how this community grew because I know the majority of us uh, went through lead. Yeah, lead helped a lot of people. Okay, Tag, take care, babe. I'll see you in these YouTube streets. Thank you so much for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you. So, Led encouraged us. He said, go for it. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So I was apprehensive about starting my own channel, even though I love gardening. I've been gardening all my life. So this was like a old hat to me, so to speak. But to get in front of a group of people and talk about it and kind of mash all our ideas and whatever together is just phenomenal. I'm not scared of speaking in front of a crowd of people, but it was just the subject matter that got me, and that's gardening. And since I love gardening, it made it a lot easier to kind of ease into it. I had a lot of people pushing behind me, but it was Dorsha that really got me got me on my main first video where I had a live audience. So, like I said, I've been gardening all my life. As my grandmother said, knee high to a duck, which means I was little, because I would hang out in the garden with her. But I stepped up my A game and I learned a lot of new ways to garden. I didn't know anything about hydroponics. I didn't know anything about aquaponics. Um, I've always grew in the ground. I never grew in pots, not even flowers. I had flowers in the ground as well. So to grow in containers other than the ground itself, in raised beds and what have you, because we used to help grandma dig up her garden. Oh, I know what you meant. You said you was going back in the bushes. I understand. Um, so I learned a lot of new things and a lot of new ways to garden and improve some of the skills that I had and learned about all these new species of veggies out here that I never knew. Hey, Sylvia. Thank you for stopping in, sweetie. Appreciate you. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button so you can show me that you like me just a little bit will be greatly appreciated. Gail said, watching the YouTube expand when I was in the hospital, sitting there for 2 months, I found a lot of wonderful people. Yeah, you do. You get a chance to how do you say, peruse the internet and see other people gardening and how they do. And what I like, um, Bama said, survival will teach you a lot. Yeah, yeah. What I like about this community is that people aren't bashful in asking for help. We're not bashing anybody if you don't know how. We might laugh a little bit at some of these questions because some of them you kind of think they just a little bit common sense, but for the most part, they're still want to learn. And that's the bottom line. They're teachable. They're willing to listen. They're willing to take notes. They're willing to do the research and learn. They're learning to go to their garden centers and nurseries, learn how to ask the staff about certain things. They're learning about pots and different size pots. If I got a plant that's going to get 10 feet tall, I'm not going to put it in a 3-gallon pot. you know they learned about soil, the different kinds of soil, fertilizers, whether it's chemical or organic or animal that's natural. Hey, the everyday life of the OCD is chick. What's up, Nikki? How you doing, boo? So we get turned on to a lot of things in regards to growing. I know we got a lot of new people in here, and when I mean new, y'all got less than 10 years. You know, might be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years into gardening. I consider anything less than 10 years new because you're still learning, you're still improving, you still, how they say, when I mean improving, you tweaking stuff. It's something you might have did last year, didn't work out for you, so you tweaked it and you're trying it again this year to see how it works for you. Whether it's building a greenhouse or a hoop house or raised beds or planting in containers of all different sizes. And when I say containers, I mean the grow bags, the metal raised beds now that they're coming out with, because the metal raised beds been out for a long time. They were just expensive. Hey, Crooked Peach, the farmers used a lot of them for water troughs for their horses, because I used to look at those metal beds a long time ago, but they wanted like anywhere from $95 and up for those, and I just wasn't willing to kick out that kind of money because I wanted at least three or four, and I was working, but I still didn't want to kick out that kind of money. Nettis Ness said during the C-19, my work didn't stop. My hubby and I were blessed to be essential workers, therefore glad to return home after work. Yeah, Netta, I had just retired before C-19, the year before C-19 hit. So I had retired, and they was like, Miss Shirley, you retired just in a nick of time. Yeah. And I was like, yep, okay. I'm glad because I sure didn't miss. I heard the horror stories of when you work in a hospital, it's rough. You got patients whose families can't come in to see them. They're in isolation. Yeah, they were wearing full blown suits, and you had to change your suits all the time and wear masks and all this. I'm so glad I missed all of that. I don't know what to do. I am blessed. Believe me about that. Ooh, so yeah, I seen a lot of coworkers, ex-coworkers afterwards, and they were like, "Yeah, you dodged that bullet." And I was like, Jehovah God was looking out for me. I prayed to him and I asked him, "Should I retire?" He said, "Yeah." Didn't have to tell me twice. I was like, "With the HR, I'm out. I got the years, I got the age. See ya." And I haven't looked back, and I haven't missed it. I miss some of my coworkers, but for the most part, the job you can keep that. Crooked Pete said, "I worked through this." Ooh, yeah. They said I had to say C-19. Now that I moved out of the city, that year, and everything changed. Yeah, yeah, and thank you, Netta. Yeah, cause Netta, you a nurse, aren't you? So I know you had your hands full. Yeah, that was a lot of sadness during that time of loved ones. Let them try another shutdown. Not gonna do it. Oh, Shawnee, what's up? How are you, sweetheart? Yeah, so C-19 changed a lot of people's lives, and not all for the better. A lot of people lost loved ones. I had friends that were young and old that was lost because of C-19. So working out my garden still kind of helped me get through it, and it was rough. Yeah, it was really rough. I had left the hospital just in nick of time and worked at a doctor's office. The horror stories from my old coworker. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they told me that too. Yeah, I actually enjoyed being on lockdown. I did too. I was retired, so I didn't care. I didn't mind being because it helped me get my house together. I had nowhere to go, nobody's time clock to punch in. Couldn't do a whole lot. So uh, as a senior, they were opening up the stores early at 8 o'clock, and we had from 8 to 9 to shop before they opening up to the public because of the seniors, you know. So they we got a lot of grace from our stores here. These people were really good to us seniors. And my granddaughter, oh my goodness, she's like, Grand, don't leave the house. Her and at the time was her fiance, but it's her husband now. They would bring my groceries all the way up the stairs to the back door. She even would bring the kind of wine and beer I drink because she know me, you know. And they would have bleach wipes, wipe everything down. Graham, don't leave the house unless you have to. My granddaughter was phenomenal. She stayed in my butt. She like, if you ain't got to go out, if it ain't a doctor's appointment, don't. And then she took me to the doctor's appointment to make sure I was okay. So yeah, I'm blessed with that granddaughter. Yeah. Uh, okay, y'all. You keep jumping. I am an essential worker too, but sent home for remote work, and we never returned to the office. Okay, tag. Yeah, my sister was the same way. She uh she was working from home, and my granddaughter and her husband they still both work from home. They travel, but they're remote. And my sister retired now, so she don't have to do that anymore. Yep. No traffic, empty stores, quiet. Oh yeah. Oh, there was no traffic. Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. Even in an old neighborhoods, even the dope man wasn't on the street. He wasn't taking no chances either. You didn't see them standing on them corners out there in all kinds of weather. Who takes that back to the bushes? You just had to come out and say that, huh? Okay. Good to see everyone. We'll watch from TV and listen. Okay, Shantae, do what you got to do, sweetie. Have a good evening. Thank you. All right. Hey, Miss Linda, how are you? T Knox in his house. How are you? Thank you for stopping in. I know normally this time of day you cooking and eating yourself, so I appreciate you stopping in and listening. Everybody saying hello. Cassandra says C-19 came just in time for me to be available for my dad when he needed me since I didn't have to go to the office until after he passed. That was nice. That was nice. You were able to be with him for that time. Yeah. Sorry to hear that you lost him. I remember when you did. Yeah. So C-19 actually sent the divorce rate through the roof. A lot of kids didn't get along with their other siblings or parents because they were too confined. Husband and wives, they were used to separating and having time away from each other. Here, they were with each other 24/7, 365. And they said the divorce rate went through the roof. So it shows that you really didn't know your mate as well as you thought you did, and you didn't learn how to compromise to get through such a hard time. There was a lot of children that was homeschooled, and the internet lines stayed busy because they were doing online teaching as well. And a lot of businesses thrived during the internet time with that. people doing exercises, um, mental health care went through the roof as well. A lot of people couldn't deal being at home 24/7. A lot of folks became claustrophobic, and they were bugging out about not being able to go out to do the other things they had to do. You had a lot of mom and pop stores that went out of business, and a lot of people learned to convert their business to delivery. You know, um, it was a lot of changes when C-19 hit. It wasn't just for us as a garden community, but the world as a whole. People weren't traveling, they weren't going out in restaurants. Like I said, a lot of businesses went bottom up because of C-19. Yeah, yeah, got on each other's last nerves. Yeah, and they didn't have anywhere to go. you know, if you had a house that was on a slab, you don't even have a basement where you can go down in the basement where a man cave and you could be upstairs. When you're in a small house during the course of the day and people leave out, house is quiet, you got that. But then when you're all home at the same time on top of each other, it took a lot of discipline, a lot of discipline. Bama said, being too crowded all day is not good for you, and you still need to be careful. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And sometimes it was just people didn't know, they didn't have outlets, so to speak. During the course of the day, you can go bowling, or you can go shoot some pool, or go have a few drinks at the bar, or walk through the park, and this, that, and the third. Well, all that shut down, and a lot of these people didn't have hobbies, something else that could preoccupy themselves. And if they had children, and if they had a house full of children, that was an all day job, just trying to keep these kids occupied with something to do so they weren't at each other's throats all day long and getting on mom and dad's nerves as well. They said domestic violence went up, abuse of children went up during COVID because people did not know how to blend in with one another in their own homes. Sylvia said, being in the backyard, going fishing, there were things to do away from people. Yeah. But not everybody, like I said, if you don't have hobbies or no, if you never done that before, they didn't think about things like that, and they just took it out on each other. New online businesses were born. Yeah, left and right. Left and right. So I'm saying there was a lot of online businesses that were born. DoorDash and all of them. They became popular because of that. You Parents became full-time teachers. Yeah, and it was rough for some of the ones who really didn't know how to educate their kids, or really knew how the kids were being taught. They had to teach themselves in order to teach their kids. That was rough for a lot of them too. A bunch of people in trouble for taking out those PPA loans. Yeah, well, hey, you got a lot of folks got evicted during COVID that wasn't supposed to, and then a lot of them racked up, long, big amounts of debt because they weren't working. Their jobs was closed down. So yeah. Bama said, I still need to fish in that water. Hey, CC, how are you? I was watching your video today. I was laughing at Domino eating your okra. I'll say, yeah, don't leave it down low. He gonna eat it. And he said, and it was your biggest one. T-Knox said, and the gardening community grew by the millions. Many gardening companies became millionaires. Yeah, and excuse me, a lot of them went out of business at first, because one of my favorite nursery went out of business at first, and then when people started gardening, really getting into gardening, then a lot of new nurseries popped up, and a lot of them survived. Yeah, because I know my favorite garden place, they went out of business when C-19 first hit. because people weren't really getting into gardening then. They were learning about gardening, but they had not got into it full force to keep some of these nurseries, little small ones, and even some of these big ones alive. You know, um, you can fish and nobody would be around. Still can. It's never crowded and too many spots to go if it was. Yeah, for the ones who knew how. Yes, he ate it. Yeah, he ate the whole thing. Damo said it was good. It was organic. Yeah, price gouging went. Oh my God! You remember the people that were going through the toilet paper and the paper towels? They was killing like Costco and BJ's and all these big wholesale. They had to put a limit on how many that you could buy. Oh, it was ridiculous. Cases of water and stuff. If you didn't get up early in the morning and get to these stores and do that, oh my goodness, it was horrible. They actually had signs up saying no paper towels, toilet paper. Yeah, bleach. Oh my goodness, bleach wipes, Mr. Clean, a lot of that stuff. Boy, them shelves was empty. These folks was disinfecting gloves and masks. My girlfriend made a killing on masks. She's a seamstress, and she was making custom made, homemade masks. She was making a killing. Yes, she was. Yep. So yeah, a lot of businesses got started. You know, a lot of delivery services got started too. You know, people learned to revamp their business to keep from losing their business. You know, some of them been family businesses for a long time, and some of them might have been newly started and didn't have to end up shutting down as soon as they start because of C-19. So yeah, there's a lot of changes made. Yeah. So now that people are really getting into gardening because of the prices, prices aren't going down, the prices are going up, and they're cutting a lot of stuff. A lot of these farmers aren't growing what they used to. And when they had that embargo going, there was no outside imports of fruits and vegetables that was coming into the United States. You know, so yeah. We said I was already stocking before C-19. I didn't notice the panic people were were doing. Yeah, yeah. Some of us was ahead of the game. How many people went into mass business? Millions. People who knew how to sew, and it wasn't just seamstress; it was crafters too. They were making these masks, and I mean, you know, you see some of these people out here. They got rhinestones going across the side with their name, or it might be across the mask. They were custom made, so they were paying. They was paying whatever you was asking for. They was paying. So yeah, there was a lot of new businesses created by the C-19, not just gardening, but the crafters and seamsters. They were making a killing too. Um, a lot of people learn about the different varieties of fruits and vegetables we have out here because I always had fruit trees, but it was the norm like apple and peach. But I never knew that I could grow my own figs, my miwok kumquat, my lemons. My Meyer lemon right now, I'll be doing a video soon. This is the first year since I've had it that it's loaded with lemons. They're actually getting bigger. It's been blowing my mind. I'm so happy and tickled pink that I'm going to get some real lemons off of my Meyer lemon. Oh, and I'm starting to see figs coming up on my Chicago Hardy. And every time I think about figs, I think about you, Miss Linda, with Fiona and the rest of them coming in. Herself got said she made her own mask. Yeah. Yes, it didn't impact me much at all, fortunately. Yeah, I've always been someone that stockpiled a long time too. My granddaughter, she used to talk about me, about Grand, what you doing with all of this? You can't eat all of this and use all this and the other. But if she come by the house, she say, I ain't got time to run to the store. Can I grab a bottle of mustard? I was like, no, you said I don't need to be stockpiling. I was like, girl, go ahead and get you your mustard. Oh, would you say, Sylvia, you were so grateful and still is? I understand. What's up, Gina? Gina versus Gina. Thank you for stopping in this evening. Appreciate you. Hey, Laura's Garden and more. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. So yeah, we're the subject we're talking about tonight is how was your life before C-19? If it never hit, how was your life before that? Hey, TLC in the garden. Thank you, sweetie, for stopping in. You will love the Meyer lemon. Oh, the chat just jumped. Wait for them to get yellow. This is my tree's second year. Okay, all right. I done had them for a couple of years where I had them in the basement. They didn't fare well this year. None of my stuff did in the basement because I had my surgery in January and I couldn't go up and down the stairs, and I couldn't find anyone that would come over and water and take care of them. So I finally got my neighbor brought them all outside for me, and it took them a while to bounce back, but everything is doing phenomenal. My dwarf Cavendish banana tree plant, not tree plant, is huge. My Miwa kumquat did a comeback. I just knew it was dead, and I talked to Broke. Broke told me what to do, and now it's just as full of leaves and stuff. It might not fruit this year, but I don't care. It didn't die, and it's doing real nice. That's something that the deer didn't eat. They didn't like those, so yeah. Hey, wellness with frugal mama, how are you, sweetheart? I would normally was watching you early in the morning, but I was out trying to water everything before it got hot. Shoot, it was 80 degrees at 7 in the morning. I was like, oh, let me hurry up and get out here and water everything and get back in the house. It's still 94 and sunny outside. Yeah. Uh, Happy Thursday to you too. So yeah, it's just amazing on how the garden community has grown. Um, we've learned so much from them. We've had a lot of experts uh, who weren't really into gardening, but they were into, let me put it this, they were into gardening, but they were experts in their field in how the soil works, how your NPK fertilizers work. They were able to take that information and break it down for us in regards to what works for you don't work for everybody else. Everybody lives in a different grow zone, hotter in some, cooler than others, wetter than others, colder than others. So it gave you a chance to see what everybody was dealing with. Like, we don't have certain bugs here because we have winter, and a lot of you guys that are in warmer areas, they like the heat and the tropical climates. So therefore, we don't get them here, or if they come, they don't last. And then we might get bugs that we have and you don't have, and vice versa. Um, Certain things that might grow well in your garden might not grow well in mine unless I put it in a greenhouse or the garage or bring it in the basement because they don't tolerate the cold temps. So, like my Miwok kumquat, my Meyer lemons, my banana, all of that stuff, and my figs, they all come into the basement in the wintertime. Yeah. Some of y'all said we chilling today. It's a cool 83 and cloudy. Woo! Sylvia said, oh, CC was saying Sylvia, it was feel like 98 here today. Oh, that's hot. Sylvia says it's been raining on and off since the rain our way. It's getting dry. All this pretty grass is starting to turn brown. Yeah, it's getting a little fried. It's a little dry. The ground is cracking. That's how dry it is. I had some leaves in one area and the soil was moist. I moved the leaves out and to use elsewhere. And I look back at the soil and now it's cracking because it's so dry. So yeah, I got some more leaves I can put back. Mike says a grower south of me got hornworm. That's crazy to me. Yeah, I haven't seen them here. I know Gina had one in her garden, and Lydia took care of it for her. I have yet to see one in my garden. I hope I never do. But then I know what to look for, and I know how to get rid of it. Like I was telling earlier, I had some brassicas up here on the porch. Now I'm on the second floor. That white moth found my brassicas all the way up here on the second floor. I went out there one day because I'm looking at one of my brassicas and it's got holes all in the leaves. I was like, I know they're not up here. Man, I took off about 5 or 6 of those green worms. I was squishing them. I was mad. I was like, don't come up here and mess with me. Sylvia said next week is supposed to be extremely hot. Back to summer in the South Mississippi. Uh-uh. No, this is unusual for us to get up to 94. 85, 90, but 94. Like, don't be throwing your hornworms over here. That. Minnesota didn't get those. That's what I'm saying. So, some things she'll get and some things she won't. Take your southern critters back, CC. Yeah, like everybody pretty much have problems with aphids. Aphids seem to be universal. I don't care where you live at, whether it's hot, cold, or in between. Aphids just seem to find you. But and what you call it, Japanese beetles. Yeah, they could be a pain in the butt too. Hey, Lynn's Life Lessons. How are you? Thank you for stopping in this evening. Make sure you hit that like button and show me that you like me. Just a little bit would be greatly appreciated. Mike, you sent us snow, so when send you bugs. Hey, we ain't had nothing to do with that snow. We up here in the north, we was laughing so bad at you guys between North and South Carolina, Texas, and Georgia. Y'all was getting snow. Us northerners was sitting up here cracking up at y'all, talking about y'all shut the whole state down. Let it snow a quarter of an inch. Y'all don't have salt trucks. Y'all don't have any of this other stuff. And we be laughing at y'all. Yeah, see, y'all used to having air conditioning on all the time. See, we have central heat here. When it get cold, it kicks on automatically. But y'all have. It was funny. Miss T with the T. What's up? Thank you for stopping in this evening. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so it's just amazing on all the stuff we learn. Um, we learn how to seed swap, send each other seeds, and even live plants. I mean, I've gotten cuttings from figs and a no, elderberry and all kinds of stuff. So, as a garden community, I can say we are not selfish. We will look out for one another. And don't come in our garden community and say, oh, I want to learn how to garden and I want to start gardening, but I don't have any seeds. Man, they will blow your email up. You said sad, Miss Shane. We were so cold. It's funny to us because, see, y'all always talk about Texas got is big and everything big in Texas. Well, y'all got big snow. We used to it. That was funny. We knew how to deal with it. We was laughing at y'all. Yep. Y'all always bragging about what y'all got. So, yes, the whole state shut down. Nothing moved. I know. That's why we sit back here laughing at y'all. We get out there in the snow and we go skiing, tobogganing, playing, making snowmen, having snowball fights. But you say you don't have any good drivers either. Yeah, because they don't know how to drive in it. You be slipping and sliding off in the ditches in the people's houses. Yeah, yeah. Well, you go ahead and enjoy your heat. But when that snow smack y'all again, we will be laughing at you guys again. Yeah, it even snowed down in New Orleans. Yep, yep. So, a lot of times the snow might not last. You might, by 12 or 1 o'clock when the temperatures rose, it might have been all gone. But it was just the fact that y'all initially got snow that y'all don't normally get it. So to me, that was funny in itself. Excuse me. But it also let you know the weather can be finicky. Excuse me. Hold on, y'all. Miss Shirley said Texas be bragging too much. Yeah, they do. They be talking too much, Mister. Outside got mosquitoes and they love me the way I want a man to love me. She is sunshine style. Pretty girl. Hey, how are you? And that was one thing I was laughing at too about you guys last week, talking about how y'all have to suit up to go outside. I was like, if I had to put all that much stuff on to go outside because of the mosquitoes, I would pass out. I wouldn't get nothing done. I can't handle the heat because sometimes I don't know if it's the heat or a hot flash I'm having. And like this now, this is too much clothes, but I'm on the live tonight. So yeah, we had snow for days. Yeah, well, some of y'all did. Had a little longer than others, but it was just funny though. So we were sitting back here laughing at you guys. It was just funny. I was like, man, they get a quarter of an inch of snow out there and they don't know what to do with themselves. My grandson, I have grandchildren in Dallas. And then the first time he came to Cleveland was his other grandmother had passed away. And he came for the funeral. And it was snowing. And he had never seen snow. So they had to buy him a snowsuit and boots and stuff. He was just a baby. They put him down on the ground, excuse me, to touch the snow, and he was like, no, he did not like it. He hated it. And I was just laughing. She is Sunshine said, I love a snow day in Texas. Just need a fine man to be snowed, to be snowed in with. Yeah. Yeah, hot flashes. Yes, indeedy. So sometimes I don't know if it's the heat or me. I'd be like my guy on the Fantastic Four, Flame on. If the snow bring them sunshine, I can deal with it. Oh, see, ain't gonna happen just because you trying to copy after after her. I'm Team Midwest with Miss Shirley. We can adapt to all seasons. Yeah, we can. We get 4 seasons. We had 8 inches of snow. That is unheard of. Oh, poor thing. 8 inches is a good day. See, and that's why we learn to be preppers. Even if you weren't gardeners, and you live in the north, you learn to be a prepper because of the snow. Because if the snow get too bad, you can't even go down your side street. You can't even get out your driveway unless like Mike and his wife, and he said be out there 3-4 hours shoveling snow. It can be like that. See, I don't shovel snow anymore. I'm too old to do that. The truck with the shovel on the front, he better come clean out this driveway. And the little young kids, give them $10. Y'all sweep off the steps, clean it out. Yeah. So yeah, we have when the kids have snow days here, they be like, yes. Well, so being in the north will make you be a prepper just because we have snow. A lot of places here have gas, so you can kind of stay in your own home, whereas you can turn your stove on to heat your house. If it's not a real big house, you could, even if you have to live in 1 or 2 rooms, close them off. You can have your gas on. You can boil water. You can cook. So we learn to be preppers here. Some people have kerosene heaters. Some people have uh, what they call those things. Can't think of it. Anyway, they have their own setups and how to stay warm. And people have wood burning fireplaces. That's what I was trying to think of. And some people have the solar generators. That's what I think of. So that they could use too for phones and stuff. And I have candles. I have flashlights. I got a bunch of stuff sitting right here right now because you never know. Uh, heat you up my back like my back not like it. No, stop, Mike. Pretty girl said we got a rainstorm today, and I thank the Lord I didn't have to go out in the heat. Okay, we need a rainstorm because my barrels is getting real low on water. They've been helping me though. I can't complain. They've been holding out for the longest, but I still need. He's still getting kind of low. Bama said the first time I went to Illinois, it snowed 2 feet, and I knew then it wasn't for me. Said nowhere where it snows, huh, Bama? Well, I was born and raised here in Ohio. I'm a Buckeye, so I'm used to it. Been here all my life. I've traveled to other places, but for some reason, to me, this is home. My cousins now trying to get me to move down to Georgia, where they at. They're in Atlanta, and I was like, I visited, and I like Atlanta, but it just wasn't me. I'm a city girl. They was too country. Half of them I couldn't understand them. Yeah, they were fun. I enjoyed them, but it just ain't. Mm-mm. Uh, she, uh, she is sunshine. She laughing at Bama. When did you go in January? Yeah, January, February is normally when it snows the worst. Yeah. So, like I said, different strokes for different folks. Some people who have lived in colder areas have moved, like Led. Led's from Toledo. He's down in South Carolina and Florida. So you didn't want to be around the snow no more. That's what you do. You pack up and move and go somewhere where it's warmer. A lot of folks moved to California. A lot of them moved back down south. When they got tired of the snow up east, they had friends or relatives and might have had land back in the south. And once they retired from their jobs, they sold their houses and moved back down south. Because I had a girlfriend who did that. She retired, sold her house because it was paid for, went down, moved back to the south and built her a fabulous house. They had property down there. That's what they do. Bam with Arthur. Right? My birthday is January, 3 years in a row. I was snowed in and couldn't go out. Okay. Mike Garden, do you guys fight over parking spaces after you shovel them out like they do in Chicago? Yeah, they let somebody else do all the work and then get into that spot. Yeah, that's cold. That's cold. But you ever see any of the documentaries where cars are parked on the street and they just solid ice? It's just like when the snow plows come down, the slush and stuff covers over the cars, and some people can't even get their car doors open. You know, they just turn around going back in the house. Hey, Presbyterian, how are you? Just got in from the garden. Shoo, the heat. Yeah, yeah, you gotta be careful with that though. Hmm. Yeah, but if somebody park in your spot, how you gonna make them get out? Yeah, and that's another thing, boy. When the snow get bad here and they have what they call parking bans, you can't park on the street because they have to be able to clean. And see, I have school buses that come down here, so they keep our streets pretty clean in the wintertime because of the school buses and the kids. So I guess according to what area you live in makes a difference. Some say here in Chicago, after we shovel, we set large items out in our spot like chairs and stuff. Oh wow, y'all truly have to fight for parking afterwards. Somebody jump into your nice shovel spot. Yeah, clowns will bury your car. Yeah, trying to read some of these. Gotta fight for those spots after you done broke your back shoveling it out. Yeah, yeah. People do like that, and they don't care if you get mad or not. And don't let them be off for a couple of days. You definitely ain't getting that spot back until they have to leave out to go out back to work again. So yeah, a lot of folks get them parking spots and say, "Hey, I can walk everywhere else or have somebody else pick me up, but I got my spot." Yeah, snow here it can be fun, but I got over snow a long time ago. As a child, I almost got frostbite from playing in the snow too much. So I've been over snow a long time. I could deal with it, but it don't fascinate me anymore. I put it to you like that. As a kid say, it's all right. It is what it is because I'm not going anywhere. J3 said, "Son, that's what you hate about Chicago." Yeah, it is. Uh, Presbyterian said, "When I was in New York, we used cones to save our spots. The people on my block respected the cones." Okay, all right, not out here. They will get out, move your cone, they'll throw it off on the side. Say, ain't nobody saving spots around here. Oh Lord, look who done slid up in here. What's up, David Corey? What crap? How are you? Thank you for stopping in. So, David, were you always in Texas? Were you born and raised in Texas, or did you come to Texas from another state? Let me know. And what's your temperature? What's your temp there? See, how far do you live from David? Are y'all neighbors? Are y'all close by each other, or are y'all in two different cities in Texas? Yeah, so the question is tonight, how was your life before C-19? If it never hit, what was you doing? How were you surviving? So yeah, it was a big difference. Like they said, the Midwest, Northeast, and East Coast, as far as the weather, compared to the other half of the Midwest, Southeast, and California, West Coast. Everybody had different setups. They didn't have snow. They didn't wear boots. They didn't have coats, scarves, and gloves. Even though I see them wearing hugs, that's what they call Uggs, those boots. 95 degrees outside, and they got shorts on with a pair of Uggs because it's around Christmas time. I never understood that. Yes, ma'am. Texan all my life. All right. 97. Woo, it's hot. It's hot, hot, hot. Yeah. I think I would never come out the house at 97 degrees. I'd be like the Wicked Witch of, what's that on Wizard of Oz? I'd be like, I'm melting. I'm melting. Oh, God, I'm melting. You know, I've already got a tan already being out here. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to look like a chocolate chip. Bama said I was already gardening, but I wasn't on YouTube full time. Okay. Yeah. But being on YouTube Hey, can y'all see me? I don't know what happened. It just kicked me out. My wife. I need a new um computer. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. I really need a new one because it just does whatever it wants to do whenever it gets ready. Thank you guys. You say you can't hear me? Oh, can you hear me now? Oh boy, this is crazy. How much time do I have here? Can't hear. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can hear and see you now. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry about that, y'all. My laptop is on this last leg. I've even got a notice saying that it won't even take the new 11 upgrade when it comes in. So I'm gonna start a GoFundMe because I really need a new one and just don't have the money for it. So thank you so much for sticking with me. I appreciate you guys. And see, that's what I'm talking about, the garden community. You know, when one of us is having a bad day or bad tech, y'all just don't desert us. You hang around and you stay with us, and that means a lot to me. You know, because when stuff doesn't always work out the way you want it or hope it to be, it can be a little frustrating and a little depressing. So when you guys decide to hang around and not leave me, that says a lot. It does. It says a lot about your character. It says a lot about uh, you want to be treated the same way if that should happen to you if you're in a live or have a live going. So I do appreciate you all. I do. Never think that I don't appreciate everyone that subscribes to my channel and come visit me every Thursday and even give me feedback on my videos that I post, whether it's a short or whatever. You guys have been there for me. So I can't help but say thank you. Hey, pretty girl, thank you so much.
Why, thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Money in the
it's,
chat,
it's rough.
money in the chat, money in the chat, money in the chat, 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 chat. Woohoo! Thank you
Okay, I
so
hope that
much.
was the
I
money video.
appreciate you.
Yeah. So I want to say to you guys, never think that you're not appreciated, at least by me. I love everybody that takes the time to come in to the chat, whether you come in and say can't stay long, where you driving or whether you're in the bushes. I know a lot of you guys have families that you have to feed and take care of, especially at this time of the day, you know. Um, and I appreciate you guys. You keep coming back. So that lets me know that loyalty is a big thing for you. And I appreciate that because, loyalty and compassion for some folks out here nowadays, that's not in their vocabulary. You know, that's not in their DNA. It's about me, 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 me. But the garden community have proven to me that they have gone above and beyond kindness, fairness, loving, compassionate people. And never let me say that I don't appreciate each and every one of you. Whether you've been adopted as my brother or my sister or my children, daughters, sons, or whatever, I enjoy being called Mama Shirley. I really do. I never thought I would get to the age where I appreciate being called mama as much as I do, as I get from you guys in the garden community, because you truly has shown me love. And to have an extended family is amazing. It's nice. I always have somewhere to go, and I'm always thankful for people who come my way. Um, it's just amazing. Yeah, I just don't know the feeling I get every time that I come on Thursday and I see you guys in my live. I appreciate that, because some of you guys don't do lives, but you're superb supporters, and I appreciate that. You can't ask any more from each individual. Everybody has their own way of giving to the garden community, and a lot of people don't understand it. It's like, oh, they just gardeners, they like farmers, what are they about? Come and check us out and find out and see. Because, like I said, not everybody is gardeners or into gardening full force. You got a lot of new people learning about gardening, and they come from all different walks of life, different nationalities, different parts of the country, different grow zones. And it's just amazing what we learn from one another if we listen and pay attention. And at my age, I still feel like I can learn something new every day. A lot of you guys do a lot of research on certain herbs and different vegetables that I've never heard or never seen, and how not only you grow it, but how you harvest it and how you preserve it, whether it's freeze dried or in the freezer, eating it fresh, dehydrate. There's so many different ways that you can do stuff. Yeah, I can't read this real small print unless I get my magnifying glass. Uh, but thank you. We love you all, and here is nothing you can do about it. All right. Hey, Bammit, thank you so much. I do. I do appreciate you. Thank you. And I've been on here for over an hour. It's an hour and 15. I'm not going to stay on here long tonight. Uh, as usual, I got my leg propped up, and it's time for me to ice it down so that I can go to sleep and I can go in on somebody else's live and listen to them. So I'm going to end this live early tonight. And I just want to say thank you guys so, so very much. And you shown me that you like me more than just a little bit. And I really do appreciate it. As I always say, enjoy your day. And y'all come back now.